One day, there was a vampire rapper named Terry. Terry lived in Vancouver, Canada. He was very smart and loved to rap. In fact, he rapped all around British Columbia and would rap himself to sleep. Terry lived in a cave by the sea. He has a pet snake he named Gary and an assistant named Barry. One day, Gary goes missing. Terry and Barry go out to search for Gary. They find him in a garden eating a glowing flower. Gary started to glow just like the flower. The snake started talking. Gary hadn't done that before. Gary said, "You must find the wizard who lives in the hollow tree in the Everglades." Terry was like, "Florida? Why Florida?" Gary, "Sst. IDK, bro," the flower was talking. Terry calls Barry, and they both transformed into bats and flew down to Florida. Terry carried Gary in his little claws. Gary was not a fan of this. As soon as they got to Florida, the glowing flower wore off and Gary was no longer glowing or talking. The Florida air made them sick. So sick that Terry and Barry had to go to a doctor. So sick that Gary had to drag them to the doctor. The doctor was very suspicious. Terry and Barry were not normal people. He found out that they were a vampire and screamed, "Go back home, you Canadian freaks. You don't belong here." The doctor then proceeded to throw garlic at the two vampires. Terry was like, "Rude," then proceeded to bite the doctor's neck. The doctor led them to a portal that conveniently opened to the mysterious tree. A wizard crawled out the tree. He was disheveled and a little crazed. "Well, hello there," the wizard said in a creaky voice. "I can help you and give your little snake there back its powers." Okay, Terry said, and handed the wizard Gary. The wizard laughed and took Gary inside the tree. The tree started to glow, and before long, the wizard came back with Gary. Gary was now glowing and had many magical powers. He was not impressed with this. The wizard smiled and said, "So I got a level with you, Terry the Rapper. I am a big fan, and I am also from the future." "What?" said Terry. "You are a fan?" "Of course. You're a legend. But about the future. There is going to be an explosion. I mean, atomic bomb kind of explosion that I really need you to help me stop. Otherwise, it will destroy the whole world. I need you to help me save the future." This is a lot, Terry said. "Why am I the only person who can do this?" "Don't think about it too much. I need you," the wizard said. They stepped into the future and there was a giant nuclear warhead that needed to be de-armed. The wizard handed them the tools. Terry got to work de-arming the bomb, but it was very stressful, so he started rapping to calm his nerves. The wizard hypnotized Gary to use his super snake powers for evil. The bomb was a distraction. Gary went to attack Terry. Barry grabbed Terry from the bomb, saving Terry from the snake's attack. "Gary, no, I am your friend," Terry screamed, but Gary didn't stop. In a last-ditch attempt to save his life, Terry started rapping. Gary stopped in his tracks. Terry's rapping reminded him that Gary was his friend, not his enemy. Gary turned on the wizard. He summoned lightning that launched a poorly dressed wizard far, far away in the past where he could never hurt anyone again. Gary used his cool snake powers to teleport everyone back to the past that was their present. They moved back to Vancouver into a cool new sea cave. Terry's rapping career really took off. Everyone wanted to hear about how he defeated the evil time-traveling wizard and meet the superhero snake, Gary.